to you. And thank you very
Good
much for
morning,
your
sir.
time.
And thank you for having me.
Mm. And congratulations. I think this is the first time I'm being notified of your new position, Chairperson African Union Advisory Board Against Corruption. Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
And then let's move on to this matter of, we've had many conversations on the matter of the pursuit for Ken Ofori Atta, and to get him to answer for the charges the special prosecutor has brought. I'm sure you followed that the deputy AG's interview and then the response from the office of special prosecutor. Do you think there's a matter for concern here?
Well, no. My position really is that I think that the AGs need to have patience with the SP because they have been pursuing this, been lambasted, bashed, and I'm quite sure that from experience, given the earlier context where the SP used to lose a lot of cases, at the back of their mind would be the fact that let's make sure we have as in-depth as possible a report before we give it out, and then we get ourselves into trouble. So I really think this is much ado about nothing. In the same vein that the oral case is being handled by the AG's office, they've told citizens, be patient, these things require painstaking investigation and effort. I think they ought to be patient. The SP did not say, I will not collaborate. They were very clear. And by the way, I would have called them irresponsible when you have identified that there is new information. Mind you, on the second, when they had requested the extradition thing, they had not been seized with the additional information at SNL. It was on the 10th of June that the raid at SNL threw up new evidence. And then on the 12th or 13th, the AG is now asking for the docket. And they say, listen, just a few days ago, we raided this people. We realized there's much more information we ought to thoroughly examine, improve this docket before we submit it. The thing that give it in its current state, if I were leading my organization and under the law, I have the mandate to pursue this. Another organization, be that they are supporting and complementing us, is demanding a docket. I would want to make sure that whatever I give out is in as excellent a shape as possible, so that my credibility and integrity is not put on the line. I think this should be understood. I don't think it should be something that should have been. And then I don't know who leaked it into the public domain, intentionally didn't leave the part where they said they are working on the docket and has created unnecessary agitation. I am quite disappointed in the leakage. I think that we can do things much better.
But considering you are pursuing someone who you do not know where he will be the very next moment, it's time not of the essence that if you have a docket which they can work with and get you the person you need for the investigations you are currently doing, would it not be better that you give them what you have so that they can get you who you are looking for?
No, I don't think so. I think that given the history of the OSP, you want to make sure that the case you're putting forward is as strong as possible. Responsible thing to do. And so you need to be thorough. Anytime media calls me on any issue, if I've not read or I've not heard, I'll ask you for the documentation. Many times, the persons themselves asking me questions are not well read. Sometimes they are getting the topic wrong. I have to correct them. And I think it's a dysfunctional way of approaching things. We need to be thorough. That's how you guarantee that you get the best results for the collective. I don't think it's in the interest of this country to rush because there's pressure. And I think it's contradictory when in one vein we say, let's take our time on these cases, the oral cases. So you want a big case like this for them to rush when they found that there's additional evidence with additional charges, which they ought to thoroughly investigate. Come on.
So for the AG should give the OSP time to finish and then forward the docket to them.
Actually, they had already indicated that by the end of this week, I am sure the SP will be making statement at the end of this week. I think that they had already gone fast. But it was also because of the context of how much work they've done and how much more they thought was necessary just to polish this, to make sure they have a solid case. I think there should be no rush. Let's put our best foot forward. Nobody should undermine the best interest of this nation by using shortcuts. I think it's courageous and responsible for the SP to say, you know what, even though we requested it, we have further and better particulars. It's our best option. Let's investigate. Let's add to the docket before we give it to you. That's the right thing to do for anybody who is in leadership.
Now, before I let you go, just let me read to you. This is from one of those who are currently listening to us. This is Anwar Sadat, who says, if so, then on what basis did the OSP put Ken on Interpol red alert? So for some people, the manner in which the OSP has handled this matter gives us a sense that this is urgent and needs to be dealt with all the urgency it requires. So why would you now be then asking for time when the person is telling you that perhaps I can get you results with whatever you have currently? So just give it to me.
I think that people should follow the chronology. The man and his lawyers had committed. Listen, they started this in January 2025. They wrote to him saying they wanted him, I think it was 10 February. He wrote back and saying he will not be available. Can lawyers represent? I said no. For whatever reason, they have analyzed their case. They believed he needed to be in person for testimony and perhaps also for trial. He says he has a medical thing. They say, okay, provide the evidence. He provides a report that is not on any letterhead. It doesn't give you the confidence that this is serious. So they say, no, we're not going to accept that. We'll put you on red alert if you do not, back up. He doesn't make any effort to take this seriously. By the way, none of us as citizens would have been treated differently. Eventually, when they put on red alert, the lawyers come and negotiate. And in trust, as believing persons that come out of his stature, when they make commitments to keep the commitment, it's okay, fine. Now they shifted it to June 2nd. Remember that all of this, the expectation was that he would be there in person. He would become in person. He committed to do that. And he had said that the surgery was going to be done, I think, April or so. The man waits till about 3 or 4 days to June 2nd. And then suddenly the medical thing did not happen. He is still due for surgery, etc. Who does that? By May, when you realize that the thing had been rescheduled, don't you get your medical team to engage and just show that you are serious? It's just that things have shifted. So everybody is comfortable. It is on the 2nd of June, when they realized that he really was not friendly, that they now wrote to the government saying, you know what, we are compelled to ask for his extradition because, we have persons across the globe who know where he is at any time. It is not that we are not able to tell where he is. Because of our connections in the intelligence system, we are able to track him. We know where he is. But for the purposes of our case, he needs to come back because we believe that there are questions to be answered. I think that somebody saying that, then why did you put him on red alert? Just confuses the issues. What it is that once the man didn't show up on 2nd June, they have to put him back on red alert so that their intelligence sources across the globe can let them know where he is at any time. Next step is that wherever he is, you try and extradite him, which is a function of the AG. So let's not, you need to understand the processes. It does not mean that the OSP was pretending. No, there are very serious guys there. And I think that sometimes, without understanding the processes, people want to lap past people. That's very unfair.
Mr. Senanu, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
And thank you for having me.
He is Edem Senanu, Chairperson, Africa Union Advisory Board Against Corruption, speaking to us this morning. He is of the opinion that the AG should give the Office of Special Prosecutor time to actually go through the things they are requesting to do. The Office of Special Prosecutor is making one simple request. We have done some searches and seizures. We have some new information we want to add to the docket. When we are done, we'll forward it to you.